I am going to be talking about working with the emerald green colored light to heal today. And I could not find anything better than being outside with all this emerald green. If you're like me and you live in the country, emerald green is everywhere this time of year. And we even have a green tractor, emerald green tractor in the background mowing the grass along the state highway. So I thought this was appropriate. Right now, that tractor is not too loud that we can't function. I hope you can hear me. And as I was processing in my mind and in my heart what it was that I wanted to present around working with the emerald green light, I couldn't think of anything better than to use the actual process that I use when I give healings. I started using and working with Archangel Raphael in March of 2024. And Raphael, the name Raphael means God heals. And the week that I started working with him, I found this information online. I can't remember, author unknown. It's not, I had emailed, I copied and pasted this information from the internet into an email and sent it to myself, and I don't have the person's name. But the week that I started using this process, working and inviting Archangel Raphael in to heal myself and to heal others, I got behind a car and the license tag said, and this is no stretch, it said God heals. And that's what Raphael means. And it was at the top of this email. The name Raphael means God heals. It's in the first paragraph. And so that was definitely my confirmation. But this process that I want to share with you today, and using the light, the color from Archangel Raphael's emerald green halo to heal. You can heal all of your bodies, your physical body, your emotional body, mental body, spiritual body, and your subtle bodies. If you feel that those need healing, we can use this process. I have used it every time since. Every time since I found this information, I have worked and invited Archangel Raphael in, along with others, other archangels and other ascended masters and source energy, to assist in the healings that I have done. Specifically, I healed uh, my daughter when she had a toe infection that wouldn't heal, and she'd had it for a while, and she became septic. And I came home that night from the hospital, and I just started working with Archangel Raphael using this technique and this meditation. And the next day, we got the call from the hospital that she was not septic. And so soon after that, I got a private reading, and I asked the person channeling my guides if what I had done um, had helped had helped my daughter Sarah's toe heal. And Archangel Raphael came through the channeler and said yes, blah blah blah. I said a whole lot of things, but I remember at the end he said, what you did, the light that you carried, the light force that you sent through, brought life and light back into her toe. And so that was my confirmation that what I had done had helped. And I also wanted to talk about one other time that I used this technique and calling in Archangel Raphael was for myself. I had been washing dishes, cleaning up the kitchen and I just quickly turned around to pick up a metal um, spatula, and it was sitting on a red hot burner. The handle of it was sitting on a red hot burner, and in my quick movement, I just turned around and picked it up, and the entire outside half of my palm was burned, and it was, I'll say, burned pretty bad. I don't know in degrees, first degree, second degree, I don't know, but it was pretty bad. And so I stopped everything and I put ice on it, but I immediately, in my mind, started calling in Archangel Raphael and using this technique and calling in Source and saying, I know everything happens for me, nothing has gone wrong. And so after about 15 minutes of having ice on it, I felt guided. It was just put in my mind. I felt guided to go to the bathroom. And I was, at that time, that was when I was staying in a borrowed home. So someone else's stuff was in the medicine cabinet. But I opened the door and there was, I think it was lidocaine. Um, and I felt guided to put it on. So I put the lidocaine on my hand. I went back to the kitchen, sit down at the kitchen table, and just was staying calm. And I put that lidocaine on my hand, and I was literally just sitting still, looking at my hand where it was burned. And as I looked at it, my hand healed. It literally healed sitting there looking at my hand. And I was, of course, breathless. I took the towel and I wiped off the lidocaine, the greasiness from the lidocaine, and it didn't hurt. I felt no pain. There was no discoloration. It was completely healed before my eyes. This really happened. And I know that's going to be hard for people to believe, but that happened. So I am wearing my green shirt. It's not a deep emerald green, but it was the only green that I had. But I'm also wearing my green jade necklace, and it's hard to see, but it's one of my favorites. A friend, I don't know, 25 years ago brought this back from an Alaskan cruise that they went on, and I love my green jade. So I've got that on. And also, I brought out as another physical anchor when you're working with the emerald green light. When I went up to my shelf of essential oils, the rosemary jumped out at me. It has a green label and it has a sprig of the green rosemary up there. And so I thought this would be a good example of a physical anchor when you're working with the emerald green light. So it says here that when you ask for healing assistance, Archangel Raphael surrounds and nurtures you with the emerald green light of his halo. I think I said that earlier. Except for in situations where someone's death or illness is their overall divine plan, Raphael will energetically supply whatever is needed to promote the healing. It's important to note he will not always swoop in and heal everything right away. He would let you know that your negative thoughts have created this illness and that those need to be gotten rid of first. And you must change the way you think so that once you do heal, you can stay healed. Um, and it says here that Raphael coaches and motivates healers by whispering instructions into their ears, like the ears of doctors, surgeons, psychologists, nurses, and other caregivers, including scientists. Archangel Raphael's intervention helps scientists in making breakthroughs in medical cures. So, asking Raphael's participation to promote healing in all kinds of areas: rocky marriages, addiction, grief and loss, family relationships, and stressful lifestyles. Simply say his name or make a specific request. For example, and you can write this down if you'd like, Archangel Raphael, please come to my side and help me feel better about my issue. Please surround me in your healing energy and guide my actions and thoughts so that I am healed. Raphael is also the archangel in charge of travel. As you check in at the airport, ask Raphael to watch over your luggage, the plane, and your travels. Raphael and the traveler angels can control airplane turbulence, give you directions when you're lost, keep a leaky tire inflated, and prevent your car from running out of gas. Wow. I did one time was taking a Reiki workshop to become a Reiki practitioner, and during the lunch period, one of the students taking the Reiki class, her car wouldn't start, and the Reiki instructor just looked at her and said, "Well, use Reiki on it." So the rest of us jumped in the leader's car and went to lunch. She said, "No, I need to run an errand, so just I'll stay here." When we got back, her car wasn't there, and she said when she did get back, she said that she did what was suggested, and she did Reiki on that car, and it cranked. So that was pretty wild. That was fun. And now I'm going to get into the actual meditation that of the way that I do it and call in Archangel Raphael. Um, and I do this every time. If you have watched any of my previous videos where I've sent through an energy healing transmission, if I'm not saying it out loud, that's what I'm doing in my mind. I'm inviting in Archangel Raphael. And most of the time, I also invite in my higher self, all my spirit guides, my guardian angels to assist with the healing also. And along with what I call the perfect trinity, um, Yeshua, Mary Magdalene, and Mother Mary. That's the usual team. Now, sometimes uh, Master Hilarion will pop in. He is the overlighting Chohan of the fifth ray, which is the emerald green ray flame of the seven sacred flames, Master Hilarion. He was a phenomenal healer back in his time, and he also uses the emerald green light, and it is for love and healing in the heart. And so sometimes he'll just come in, and I know that, and I want to share this with you so that when it happens to you, that you know that channeling is not always this elaborate, sophisticated way of bringing through a message. He just comes in. If I'm sitting there and I'm in deep meditation, sending that energy transmission, and I've invited all these other high frequency beings, and I'm sitting in a quiet mind, and if he just pops into my mind, that lets me know that he is there and he has invited himself. And I say, yes, you are welcome. So what I actually do once I invite everybody in and I can feel the energy, take the time to really focus and see where you feel a different energy moving once you get to that point. And then I begin visualizing talking to Raphael as if he's standing with his hands over my crown. And I visualize the emerald green light, I visualize it as a liquid light, and it's cascading down my head on every side, down every side of my neck, down to my shoulders. And so you can modify that with wherever you need the specific healing in yourself. And in this case, I'm describing how I visualize his emerald green light moving down my body and down my arms and out my hands when I'm transmitting an energy healing on YouTube. But you can direct that energy to your knees, to your hands, like I did. Um, and just in your thoughts, I sent it to my daughter's body, not just her toe. But I sent that emerald green healing liquid light to her entire body because the infection was like running through her veins and whatnot. I think that's what septic means. But that's what I do. And I have had great success with it. And I like to get the confirmation from high frequency beings through either confirming and channeling for myself or through another person who channels that information for me. And I've gotten good feedback and good statistics with it. So, this is how I wanted to share today with all of you on how you can also work with this emerald green colored light. And if you haven't watched any of my other two videos, which was the royal blue healing light and the rose pink light, I was guided through a Pleiadian channel to begin working more with colored light. And so I'm stepping into it. I usually try to do what the Ascended Masters, galactics, high frequency beings encourage me to do because I know they know best. And I hope that you um, decide to try working with one of these lights. And I'm trying still I plan to put these 7 videos, I have one for each day. Let me add that. Wednesdays is the day of the week that the emerald green ray, the emerald green flame, is amplified. So Wednesdays it would be a good day. You don't have to. You can do it any day of the week, but Wednesdays would be an even better day. Another um, energetic anchor that you can use in addition to the physical anchors that we have been talking about. I hope this helps, and we are so grateful that you are here. And we is me and all the ascended masters, archangels, your guardian angels, your higher self. We see you, we honor you, we love you, and we trust you. Blessed be.